My name is Amber Thompson. It is July 3rd, 2017, and I'm here with Brandon Levasseur. Thank you so much for meeting with me, Brandon. So, what is your current job title or position?
My current job title is Senior Solutions Engineer at Universal Studios Parks and Resorts of Orlando, Florida.
Very cool. And how long have you been in this role?
I've been an iOS developer for approximately 5 years now.
Oh, okay. Very impressive. And how did you land this particular position?
This position was presented to me through my reputation and connections.
Oh, good stuff. And what do you enjoy most about your job?
There's not a lot to dislike about my current job. The team is amazing. The technology that we work on is both innovative and consumer satisfying. The best portion about this job is going out into the park, seeing people use your product, and seeing the effect that you have on customers.
That's really cool to have a front row seat to that. And do you work in, so you said you have a great team, so I assume you do work in a team environment and not more of an independent environment.
That is correct.
Okay, cool. And how does this style impact your work? As in, does working with others empower you, or can it be challenging in any way?
It can be empowering and challenging at the same time. When it works well, it allows you to focus on your specific skill set and expertise. When it doesn't work well, unfortunately, as you probably know, you have to pick up other people's slack.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so, with that in mind, what do you like least about your job?
Well, there are certain people inside of our particular team roles who do not have a full understanding of technology stacks, and this leads to complications when implementing the best customer-facing experience. I would say that specifically when it comes to both UI and UX, which can be challenging from any enterprise perspective or a small enterprise perspective, we all want to provide the best experience for consumers.
Absolutely, thank you for that. And just a couple more questions about your career path. So what was your major in college?
It was engineering information technology.
Okay, good. And can you describe your career path to the current job?
It started out when I was a young teenager. Originally, I had a knack for technology, and I actually grew up in elementary schools that were fortunate enough to have technologies such as Macs inside of them. That eventually led me to have a keen interest inside of video games, which I had an interest in the art form of video games, how they were made, how they were designed, and how they provided an immersive experience for guests, receiving both an emotional response and immersion. This led me to do some research into video game development, specifically both on the art side and on the engineering side. Turns out I fit the engineering profile more than anything. Diving down this path had led me into a school path for hardware and software development and perspectives. When going down this route, I landed a job as a computer technician, getting a well-rounded feel and, should I say, experience with hardware and software working in unison. And I had realized at that point that I wanted to be a programmer. When looking down the career path of being a programmer, you have to decide on a language and a stack. I had experimented with many different technologies, but I specifically needed to find a job and real-world experience with a particular language stack. At the time of doing my research, I picked up a book on iOS development, and everything just clicked. I fell in love with the languages, I fell in love with the technologies, and I started seeking out a job position through multiple connections such as meetup groups, doing presentations for different people and making new friends, meeting different people from different companies, and getting guidance from the people of Orlando. Eventually, this nailed me a job, and that led to a full-fledged career. From there on forth, I got my hands in many different pots with many wide-known companies, and from there it just grew. And turns out I'm actually really, really good at it.
That's good. As someone who wants to go into the same or a similar career field, that is really motivating for me. Do you have any advice for me as someone trying to achieve the same things, like what I should focus on most, or what skills I should possess, any background knowledge I should have going in?
Few pieces of advice. First, anyone can program. Not everybody can program well, but everybody can program. And the hard part to understand for most people about that is there are a lot of bad programmers out there. So if you're just slightly better than them, you'll have an easy time getting a career and a position out there.
Oh, okay.
The next thing is pursue knowledge. At the time when I was looking into all these different technologies, looking down my career path, and even till this very day, I have over 500 books on my iPad alone, and I've read 50 to 70% of each and every one of them. Integrating the knowledge into future things. Technology is an evolving platform, and it's something that you have to keep up with, and you have to have a hunger for it. If you do not have a hunger, it is very easy to fall behind everybody else and everything else and become irrelevant very quickly. If you have the hunger and it's a natural part of your lifestyle, it is very easy to get ahead of everybody else because of this. So feed that hunger, find that passion, and don't undersell yourself.
Thank you. That's all very helpful for me, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be able to maybe work with you one day. Thank you, Brandon.